You know, when there are problems in black nations, like when we saw the issue in Nigeria, and we seen the people saying, you know, well, the United Nations need to help. You know, America needs to help. You know, all these different people outside of your own people. I want to show you what happens when you let the UN and all these different people within your countries. Remember, these people mean no black person, no earthly good whatsoever. Now, they say it's been a decade since the first cases of cholera was reported in Haiti, with October 21st making 10 years since the outbreak was officially announced by government officials. Now, they said the bacterial disease spread quickly across the impoverished nation's mountainous terrain and took root in more rural regions. Now, we're going to talk about how cholera got there. It didn't naturally happen. You understand? So they say within days, it said the spread became a full-blown epidemic. Now, 10 years later, despite the United Nations was supposed to give $400 million in aid, they said little money has came through, if any at all, to compensate the families impacted by the scourge that caused immeasurable losses to the poverty-stricken nation. And Haiti is impoverished by design. Let me tell you why. When the Haitians defeated the French, white supremacy, in 1804, they have within the white supremacist world, which is any one of all of them that's part of the white supremacist system, they all got together and say, you know what, we're going to punish Haiti for the rest of their days. And by them doing that, this is why that nation is poor like that. Now, the only way Haiti could come out of that is through unification with the black world, where they can get some resources from black people. But as long as you allowing them to depend on a white supremacist system, Haiti's going to stay that way. Then they also, of course, the same issues that would be in the African continent you have in Haiti. You know, they make sure that the white supremacists keep puppet leaders there. The police are the same way like you saw in Nigeria. They the same way in Haiti. And a lot of times they have killed people. The people are tired in Haiti as well. You know what I'm saying? Then on the same island as Dominican Republic, they have these white supremacist views of Haitians as well. So they on the same island, yet they have an issue with the people on the same island as them. But like I said, that is a different video for a different day. You know, that they have some highly confused black folks over there. They say they Spanish. They relate to the Spanish. I'm like, I'm looking at you. You black as me, but you calling yourself Spanish. Like, oh, okay, Jose. Anyway, so they'll say that about that cholera has, you know, really through the past decade, more than 10,000 people have died of cholera, and more than 850,000 people have been infected with the lethal waterborne disease. Okay. Now they said that according to the reports, UN peacekeepers from Nepal infected the Artibonite River, near Mirebalais, a community about 40 miles northeast of the capital city of Port-au-Prince, right? It said after years of denial, the United Nations admitted in 2016 reluctantly to starting the epidemic. And this was the UN's first admission of guilt in the ordeal. So now, it's been many other times that quote unquote UN peacekeepers have been raping women in these countries, trafficking children in sex trafficking and trafficking women, stealing resources in different black nations. I remember there's one story that came out a year or so ago that a UN truck had gotten an accident and they saw all these diamonds and everything in the UN vehicles. You understand what I'm saying? These people are doing no different than they work for the colonizer. The United Nations is ran by colonizers. It's not a true entity that's for the world. I mean, it's headquartered in New York. It lets you know right then and there, right? Even Donald Trump don't even want to follow nothing UN say. The United States is not even part of the International Criminal Court, where you could bring charges on leaders here and take them to the Hague. You notice they don't want to, the United States don't want nothing to do with the International Criminal Court. Yeah, because if you could take the leaders here to the Hague, a lot of them are getting locked up. for human rights violations. That's why they want to be part of the International Criminal Court. But it says that, you know, they said on behalf of the United Nations, this is a quote, they say they want to say they want to apologize to the Haitian people. They said back in 2016. They say we simply did not do enough in regard of the cholera outbreak and the spread in Haiti. They said we are profoundly sorry for the role. That's what they said back in 2016. Now they have proposed a $400 million package to thwart cholera by addressing the water, sanitation, health systems, and increase access to care, according to the UN back in that time period. Now they said also, you know, they was, you know, by COVID-19 and appropriating money for that. But let me tell you something. You remember when they were just hoping coronavirus would just devastate the African continent? You remember that? How they were just like, why they ain't getting it? Why are they dying like this? Like, we don't understand this. And you remember all the articles that was coming out about, you know, oh, the loom before the storm, and just hoping the African continent get it, because these people don't want us to exist. No matter where we at in our own countries, if we're in, you know, these other countries where they existing at and running, because the thing is, they want black people's resources. That's what they want. And they look at black people as being in the way. So we can keep the country impoverished, and we can get puppet leaders. We can train the police to be just as murderers as we are toward their own people. You know, we can hope some disease come there. Anything we can do to try to get them out the way. Now, you know, I mean, some people say, well, if they really want black people out the way, they can just nuke it. Well, if they nuke it, I mean, they're going to destroy the resources, and they don't want to do that. They're not going to destroy the resources. So they keep waging biological warfare on black, you know, countries. You remember when they talked about the HIV? HIV was not in the continent of Africa until they started having this big push for vaccines in the African continent. Do you remember when we covered that story out of South Africa, where one of their people admitted to giving black South Africans vaccines laced with HIV? They did that to try to wipe out black folks. They have tried to do everything they can to wipe out black folks. And I tell you, the reason why you keep trying and failing is because we God's children, okay? And God's children have that. He put in us the ability to survive everything you have thrown at us. You tried to destroy us mentally. You tried to destroy us physically. You tried to destroy us, our health. You try to destroy our families. You try to destroy us just any way you can to destroy us. And we still are multiplying because we God's children. And that's why you keep scratching your head about it. And in the process, you trying to destroy us, and look at you globally, how much you're reducing globally. But yet you're actively constantly trying to destroy us. Just maybe if you just leave us the hell alone and focus on yourself, maybe you could do a lot better. But no, it's just in you to be a devil. And I say according to what Jesus said in the Bible, that great black man that he was, a devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's why I call you a devil. I'm giving you the biblical definition of a devil. You're always trying to destroy us every way you can. You're always trying to steal from us, and you're always trying to kill us. That's all you do toward black people. But we are still here. Even in America, we shouldn't even be existing. Trust me, all the stuff that we went through with slavery, Jim Crow, all the medical experiments, Tuskegee, and all the different things that we have been through as black people, we shouldn't be in existence. We should be gone, especially here in America. But we are survivors. Like I say, we God's children, and God preserves our life, not you. You think you're in control of our life, but you're not. And at the end of the day, the ditches that you have built for black people, those same ditches are going to consume you. And they're consuming you now. You don't even pay attention to it. Look at your countries and how they operating right now. Going back into lockdowns. You at each other's throats. And I tell black folks, let them do their thing. Just stay out their way. Because we didn't cause their problems, and we sure as hell we don't need to fix it. But leave me a comment. Let me just think about the situation that you know, in Haiti, and how once again they out here just spreading disease, trying to wipe out black folks. You know, they trying to spread COVID too. Don't want to wear no mask. Don't want to in no good way. That's the way COVID spread. But that's, you know, that's why I say it. I keep my distance from the COVID carriers, because if I look at them folks, They're COVID carriers. That's just what they are. You're not wearing a mask, and you purposely try to get in people's face. I look at you as just someone that's being a freaking biological weapon, and I'm trying to protect myself from it.